It's happening soon, and XRP is at the center of entire global change. For years, there have been chatters all over the internet and in the financial market. There's going to be a major change in the banking system. Guess what? Everyone is talking about XRP since it's the perfect bridge between the crypto market and the fiat world. And that's not all. We have a lot in store for you today, so buckle up and let's get started. What's up, guys? Welcome to Money Side, where we let the money do the talking. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. That way you get updates when we drop a new video. Remember to smash that like button if you enjoyed this video, and comment on the section below so we can have a conversation. As we all know, the crypto market is vulnerable to current news, reflecting on the price action. So to ensure that you always know what is happening as a crypto investor, we will highlight the latest. And believe me when I tell you, a lot can happen in just under 24 hours. With that in mind, I'll break down some of the events happening in the XRP community. To start us off, here's this tweet by Ripple that says, "The last mile in global payments is the movement of value from a financial institution to the end recipient." Our playbook provides insights and opportunities to leverage blockchain technology and grow your business. Download it here. Ripple has been working to ensure the financial institutions get ahead of the blockchain technology, which is definitely a plus for any bank. Imagine this. Ripple offers faster cross-border transactions, a private ledger, and most importantly, on-demand liquidity. If I were the head of any bank, I would have been the first one to jump onto this train. That's actually the best deal any bank could ever get. And what's more, the bank's customers will praise the company for their fast transactions and low fees, essentially putting any bank in front of its competitors. Who wouldn't want that? That's why no matter how the case between Ripple and the SEC is heading, this company continues to make meaningful partnerships with major players in the market. Another important tweet worth mentioning is this one by Rosalind Layton, where she says, "While exciting to follow, the SEC's case against Ripple has exposed the comedy of errors at the agency." That's totally true. The SEC presented a case against Ripple to discover that it's been a journey that highlights their flawed regulations. Rosalind also shares a link to Forbes magazine with that article that states the same. The article describes how the trial proceedings have been since the beginning of this case. And quite frankly, it makes sense for anyone who's been following this case. The Forbes article states, covering the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, ill-conceived enforcement action against Ripple Labs is never dull. And last week offered another development in the case, when the agency accused the San Francisco-based software company of 7 years of unregistered securities trades by its distribution of the XRP digital currency. It unwittingly opened the door to replacing the SEC's antiquated Howey test for defining securities. Moreover, it appears that the judge agrees with the defense's argument that the SEC failed to provide fair notice to Ripple or any market participant that XRP was, in the agency's view, a security since 2013. Throughout the pretrial phase of the case, Ripple's legal team has demonstrated that the SEC denied fair notice, not just on XRP, but cryptocurrencies in general. When Ripple filed an intention to represent a fair notice defense, the SEC launched a series of desperate filings to stop Ripple, knowing that if that defense is permitted, the trial case against Ripple will be dead on arrival. Key to the strategy is the deposition of former SEC Director of Corporation Finance, William Hinman, which Magistrate Judge Sarah Netburn has now ordered, overruling the SEC. This is crucial because Hinman gave a now infamous speech in June 2018, which still appears on the SEC website, declaring that Ethereum's digital token Ether is not a security, despite having been launched in an initial coin offering, ICO, in 2014. The SEC disclaimed the speech, saying it reflected only Hinman's personal views and was not market guidance. When the suit was filed in December, exchanges suspended XRP trading, leading to panic selling that erased $15 billion worth of savings and asset holdings. Believing to be denied fair notice of the SEC's intentions, retail holders focused their feelings of betrayal with remarkable intensity to the court and on social media. The interest led the Southern District of New York to open thousands of public phone lines to listen to pretrial hearings. Attorney John E. Deaton filed a motion to intervene on behalf of XRP holders and has signed up 19,000 XRP holders by the latest report. Another portent of doom for the SEC's legal team is a recent missive on a settlement with crypto exchange CoinSchedule from SEC Commissioners Pierce and Roisman, two Republicans who likely voted against the Ripple case driven by former Republican SEC Chair Jay Clayton. The commissioners were essentially whistleblowers from inside the agency's top leadership, attesting that the SEC fails to provide clear guidance and fair notice on digital assets. Pierce and Roisman wrote they were disappointed that the settlement did not explain which digital assets touted by CoinSchedule were securities, an omission which is symptomatic of our reluctance to provide additional guidance about how to determine whether a token is being sold as a part of a securities offering or which tokens are securities. The SEC has been trying to cover up its tracks, even going to the extent of requesting additional time. Now, what do you think the company has been up to ever since then? Recently, the government noticed that there are no crypto regulations that could be used to at least make sense of what is happening in the market. But that also begs the question, if we still don't have any regulatory clarity, why in the hell did the SEC file a lawsuit against Ripple? Or is there something that the regulatory body is trying to hide behind the curtains that we don't know about? I may get a lot of controversy for stating the obvious, but the SEC is playing games with us, and they are not telling us the whole story. Either way, this body will not get the chance to slow down Ripple and XRP. As a matter of fact, the only thing the SEC will achieve from this lawsuit is, if any, restrictions for U.S. traders. That's because this body doesn't have any jurisdiction beyond American soil. And as Ripple constantly keeps saying, most of their clients are not from the U.S. to begin with. So it's like a snake biting its own tail. Think of it this way. Ripple was going to help place the U.S. on top of the other countries if only the government accepted it and created a dollar-backed CBDC on it. If that doesn't happen, other powerful countries will use this opportunity to rise to the occasion and take that top spot. And now here's the mic drop statement by Jeremy Hogan that could potentially lead to the end of this trial. Hogan tweets, "More clear. Imagine you are the judge deciding whether Ripple had fair notice. It was violating the law, and you look in the file and see a letter from 2 out of the 5 SEC heads stating essentially that not only Ripple didn't have fair notice, no one had or has fair notice." We've talked about this several times, but now it's happening. The SEC didn't give Ripple any fair notice. That is why they're so afraid of this coming out. With this information, Ripple's defense team might have a chance of dismissal of the entire court case. Guess what that means? The end of this trial is near, and the SEC is now getting nervous because they don't have any other cards to play. The company has been on Ripple's neck, and now here's their chance to put an end to all of this, finally. Another tweet that's also worth mentioning is this one by Moonchaser2020, which states, "I believe that the SEC is negotiating a settlement with Ripple as we speak. There's no way they will allow Hinman to be deposed. The evidence clearly shows the hypocrisy, inconsistencies, manipulation, and corruption of senior SEC officials. From all angles, it seems that this court case will soon be over. Now XRP is about to moon, and anyone holding this crypto will likely make a ton of profit. So far, the coin has been on a steady bearish trend from what we've seen, but the tables are about to turn. Sooner rather than later, XRP will take the seat as the #1 crypto in the market. Yes, guys. Now, let's take a quick look at the technical analysis of XRP and Bitcoin. In this weekly perspective, I've been waiting for XRP to retest some of the vital supports that got broken. Over the coming months, I believe that we will have tested below 34 cents and lower again, and then we'll be moving sideways. I've set buy targets between my heavy buy zone and my buy zone once again for the next cycle. Be prepared to wait a couple of years before any real movement again. If Bitcoin can find support around the $20,000 mark, I think that this cycle could have another leg up towards the end of 2022. We're looking at the daily Bitcoin chart now. Interesting times, guys. Looks like the summer vacations are fully on and Bitcoin movement supporting vacations too. Soon it might be over. So guys, swipe the dust off your computers and start to prepare. As I've said before, if the streets get bloody, the winners will be only these players who prepared for it. The current pressure is down, and let's look at a bit lower prices from where the price of Bitcoin can find support. These price levels are not far away. Yes, price-wise, 5,000 to 15,000 seems quite a huge gap to fill, but if it starts to roll, it can collapse quite heavily because we still need some liquidity. As you can see from the image above, the price of Bitcoin has started to approach previous yearly highs, which now starting to act as a support. Also, I can say that this is quite a good retest area, especially the lower one, which stays below 20,000. There is a low chance that the price of Bitcoin cannot reach 20,000 and below of that because there are some interesting criteria that might work as a support. At the moment, the price approaching 2020 high and around the current price is also the 2021 low. Some low amount of liquidity might have below of that price levels, and there is also the Fibonacci retracement level waiting for us. Fibonacci retracement level of 62% has worked historically quite perfectly. Even in my technical analysis classroom, I have shown how perfectly Bitcoin will react to FIBO 62%. So here's the opportunity for long-term investors to slowly start building their positions. The major area stays below 20,000. There are quite a few previous yearly highs that now start to act as a support zone, a zone from where to make a technically good buy. It is a good sign that the price isn't retested 20,000 after the breakout. It adds strength to it because after the break of the $20,000, the price just flew away. There we have multi-yearly highs which act as support levels, plus there is the weekly 200 EMA. It has been also quite a good criterion to hold the price up, and even the bounces of that have guided the price of Bitcoin into the bull runs from 3,000 to 14,000 and from 4,000 to 64,000. Quite an amazing history, yes? Be prepared. The collapse might come and it might be fast. The pressure is down and these are the major lower zones that I'm looking for, and I know when and why I will act. Always trade safely, guys. Hey, remember, we are not a licensed financial advisor. All videos on this channel are intended for entertainment purposes only. Tell us what you think in the comment section below and let's have a conversation. Thank you as always for watching. Don't forget to like this video and to click on that subscribe button below. Turn on notifications so you get informed whenever we post our amazing content. Thank you again, and we'll look forward to seeing you in the next video.